Hi, my name is Mary Swank. I contracted COVID-19 in early December, right before Christmas. So we made arrangements, Jeff and I both did, to get tested for COVID because obviously we felt like if I had it, he probably did. And our results came back on the 10th that we were both COVID positive. And honestly, it was just the worst. It was so painful. And I realize that different people with COVID have different symptoms and situations. Some have hardly any symptoms at all or no symptoms. And then obviously you have the other end of it where people are incredibly sick. And we know that tons of people have died. I had what I attribute to the worst flu you could ever imagine, going along with the worst sinus infection that you could imagine. When it was official that we had COVID, the health department told us that we had to quarantine from one another. We had to be in different parts of the house. So Jeff stayed upstairs and I was downstairs. We had to wear masks. Several times a day, Jeff would come down and he would sit in this chair. And he would look at me and we would say together, he sometimes would start, sometimes I would start, but he'd say, "We're going to get through this." And I'd look at him and I'd say, "We're going to be okay." I wake up with a start at 4 a.m. and it's like, and I can't catch my breath. And all of a sudden I was like, oh my gosh, what's going on with my oxygen? And so I get up and I come to the living room and I grab that little pulse ox thing and I measure my oxygen and it's 88. So I dragged myself upstairs and I woke Jeff up and he sat up and he's like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, "I can't breathe. I just can't breathe." And we just kind of lock eyes and the realization sits in that I'm going to have to go to the hospital. And he says, "Honey," he's like, "if you need to go, obviously, I want you to go." He's like, "But remember, they're not going to let me stay with you." And I was just like, "I know, but I can't breathe. I have to go." So we get our stuff together and I said to Jeff, "You know what? You are very dehydrated. You're going with me." They're going to see us both. And I was just hopeful that they were just going to, give me something and send me home. So we decided that we're going to go to St. Francis. We know that Dr. Tom is at St. Francis and my boss, Jay Kurt, has recently been admitted there. And I know Jay's there. And that's where I needed to be. If I was going to go to the hospital, I needed to be where Tom and where Jay were. I have this wonderful nurse named Shannon. And Shannon says to me, "You know what, Mary?" She's like, "Your oxygen is low, but it's not critical." She's like, "But you know what? We're gonna have you wear some oxygen for a little bit, and the doctor's gonna come in. But I think this is gonna be okay. I think you're just gonna have to stay, probably for a little while, and then they're gonna send you home." So finally, maybe around noon or so, she came in and she said, "Okay," she said, "we need to do a couple of tests with you and see if we can get you out of here." So she's like, "Stand up." She disconnected me from everything except the oxygen. And she said, "I want you to stand up and I want you to walk back and forth between here and the door. Just walk back and forth a couple of times and we're going to see how it's going once we get you moving." So I did that and I come back and she said, "Yeah, I'm sorry." She's like, "You're going to have to stay." She said, "Probably a couple of days." She said, "Your oxygen, even with you wearing it, is still 88. Sure enough, the doctor came in and confirmed that and said, "It's going to be a little while. We've got to wait till we can get you a bed, but we're going to go ahead and admit you." And he said, "As a matter of fact," he said, I've just signed off for your husband to be released. So we're going to let him come in and we're going to let him say goodbye." That was amazing. I was so thankful to see Jeff because I didn't think I was going to get to see him. It was such a blessing. I'm so grateful for that, but that was hard. We were scared.